Hi, Nicola Grace from Conscious Crypto Traders here. I'm going to answer the question in today's video, will crypto last or take over? And I'm using a PowerPoint presentation because I think the visuals of this presentation are really going to help you understand where we're heading in this space. I am taking references from Arthur Brock's Prezi presentation, New Economy, New Wealth, which you can find on Prezi. It's an amazing presentation where he goes through the development of our economy and economic components that have occurred as we go through each age shift. We know about the agricultural age, right? But before that was the natural age of economics. And then after the agricultural age was the industrial age, information age, and so on. Humanity progresses through several big ages, and each time it does that, we add components to our economy. And in Arthur Brock's presentation, he goes a little bit further into what happens as well with government and structures and systems as we go through. I'm going to be focusing on the economy. So here's a quick history of resources to money. The very first resource we had was land. During the natural age of economics, we were nomadic, mostly using the land to survive off of. And so land was our wealth. It was the functional component in our economy. So when we go through the agricultural age, we shift ages and we start becoming more sedentary. We have husbandry, taking care of animals, being sedentary on the land, growing crops. So we have to labor in a very different way than we did when we were nomadic. So now we're adding labor, and historically this is where we started to have bits of gold and silver and things to exchange what we were growing and the animals we were taking care of for money. Before that, in the natural age of economics, we were exchanging goods, goats for blankets, or berries that we created, or deer that we killed, etc. Now that we've got labor and land, we created that method of coins to swap with. Well, that's how history is taught today. So I won't go down the rabbit hole on that one. We'll just leave it at that, right? But here's where things started to expand within the functional components. Like you could start to build wealth through precious gems and precious metals as part of the expansion of adding this extra component of labor to our economy. Now then we go into the industrial age, and most of us have learned about the industrial age in school, right? This is the age of mechanics, where we started the printing press and manufacturing and the motor car and so on. So we shifted our paradigm within our economy, and we added an extra component called capital, because the capitalists and the industrialists needed to raise large sums of money in order to be able to carry out their industrial pursuits. So now we've got land, labor, and capital. And out of capital came the stock market, futures, forex, and so on. So there's been an expansion within that economic component. Now we go into the information age, and we're adding the component of information and processing. And if you remember back in the dot-com boom, people were buying dot-coms and they were selling them, right? If for example, if Microsoft were a little bit too slow in getting their name, somebody could buy that Microsoft.com and sell it to Microsoft for a sweet treasure, right? So the dot-coms actually became property and a method of creating wealth. And there were other examples of how in the information age, information processing became a functional economic component. So out of that, with the internet and everything, in that dynamic of the information processing dynamic, there were many, many, many different ways of being able to create wealth within that section altogether. So you can see each time we shift ages, not only are we adding another component that's functioning in our economy, but within that component, there's all sorts of derivatives and kickoffs and innovations and expansion of innovation within that. So we have this diverse and very rich economy and all these various different ways that you can create wealth. So as we go into the digital age, it stands to reason we're going to add a digital component to our economy, i.e. crypto, as well as our currencies going digital, pretty much digital anyway with plastic cards, but more so with what's called CBDCs, right? This is the central bank digital currency of our nations. So getting rid of cash altogether, and just having the digitization of the money. Whether we get rid of cash altogether or not is actually the subject of another video. We're looking at is cryptocurrency going to take over or not last at all. So here in this evolution of components within our economy, it stands to reason that because in the past, every time we've added a new component to the functionality of our economy, it's not only stayed, but it's expanded and it's evolved. And already within the crypto space, you used to just be able to buy Bitcoin. Now you can buy altcoins. Now you can get NFTs. And now you can get EFTs, like registered companies on the stock market that are trading altcoins for you, just as you would be getting normal EFTs investing in companies in the stock market. So we're starting to see innovation in this space, which suggests not only is it going to last, but it is going to expand. Now, given that all of these components from all the various different ages, right, as we've added them, haven't ever disappeared, but none of them have ever really taken over. It's my sense as a visionary that we're just adding all the time and expanding, which is actually a law of nature in universe. Universe is always expanding. So I don't think that we are going to see a complete decimation of cryptocurrency, definitely an evolution of it, and definitely many more innovations to come. We're only really just starting because mainstream hasn't even entered into the space. The fact that Elon Musk is investing in Bitcoin, the fact that Michael Saylor, who has recently held a meeting of billionaires and corporations showing how his company MicroStrategies has invested in Bitcoin and digital currencies to help their bottom line. That's now gone public, and you've got all these institutions investing, banks investing into cryptocurrencies. It's registered on the stock market. I think that we are, I think it's fairly safe to say that it's here to stay, and this is a legitimized industry. But just because the economic component of crypto could be here to stay, that does not mean any given cryptocurrency in the altcoin space will last. Bitcoin probably, because it's going to be a scarce resource. There's only going to be a certain amount of Bitcoin that are available, and that's going to push the price up. It's decentralized. Nobody can take it away. Nobody can get in there and shift things or sue people or put them in jail because it doesn't belong to a company, country, or an individual. Altcoins are different. Altcoins are tied to a personality or a company or a group of people that are putting something together or putting a project together and then digitizing the project as a currency. Really exciting. So whether each individual altcoin is going to last is going to be dependent on just the exact same things as stock market and companies in the stock market. The management, the soundness of the project, competition coming in and making them obsolete, and so on. So just be aware of that, right? You don't want to go jumping in to different cryptocurrencies thinking that they're going to be here to stay just because cryptocurrency as a concept is here to stay. Very, very important to get that. But bottom line is that Bitcoin and now altcoins have gone from being fringe things that nerdy young men were involved in to something that's legitimate. In many countries, it's now legal and it's taxable. And these are implications that you need to be aware of. And we're going to be talking a little bit about this as we go through our big long list of videos that we want to make for you. So as always, do your own research. And don't listen to people who aren't in crypto. And more importantly, don't listen to people who've got an agenda. Because, for example, banks had put out a tremendous amount of bad publicity around Bitcoin and scared everybody because they wanted you to sell their Bitcoin to you, to sell your Bitcoin to them, right? Because this is a scarce resource and they don't have control over it. So be very careful about the FUD that can be out there and some of the misinformation. Do your own research and listen to people who are in the crypto space and know about it. They know what they're talking about because they're in the space, right? Super, super important. Hey, if you like this video, I'd appreciate it if you click like and post a comment, ask questions. I will do my best to respond to you as quickly as possible. And also to subscribe, hit the bell, click all, so that you get notified when we post more videos on trading scenarios, mindset, psychology, altcoins, everything to do with the crypto space so that you can become profitable in it. And down below, you will find our resource links. There's our Twitter account that you can join us on Twitter, where we post the latest news that affects the price of Bitcoin and altcoins and now NFTs. I also have a VIP class called Crypto Ninjas, where we get together live 4 times a month and we dive deep into building your crypto portfolio, trading with leverage if that's what you're interested in, spot trading, and we also do emotional clearing work so that you're not triggered and then therefore making decisions based on emotions, which are never really good decisions to do. So all of those resources are below. Remember to subscribe so that you never miss one of our amazing videos ever again. We're having conversations here at Conscious Crypto Traders that no other YouTubers are having in the crypto space. Thanks so much for listening all the way to the end. Bye for now.